Hey, psyched for the release of a new Marvel vs. Capcom game this year?
Oh, why, yeah.
Well, shut up, because we have another current-gen remaster to release.
Oh.
"2016 may have been a complicated year for some, but in terms of video gaming, it wasn't especially terrible. For example, with talk about Marvel reorganizing their approach for their video game titles and Capcom commenting on bringing back fan-favorite franchises, the two decided to team up again to take their fans on one more ride. And at a Sony event, people and fans of both companies like myself were pleased. Holy shit, is that X? But in the meantime, in order to promote their brand, their words not mine, Capcom decided to release the last game in the series, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, on current-gen consoles like the PS4 and Xbone, and a much-appreciated release on PC, with all DLC costumes and characters. That being too because Capcom. It's been 6 years since the original MVC3, and how does this one hold up in the 20-year-old series? Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is still a great game to pick up and play. The controls feel tight and responsive, the fighters are varied and fun to utilize, especially with longer combos. And the amount of replay value and team customizations one can make with these characters made this game a fighting tournament staple to this day, even after Capcom lost the Marvel license before getting it back with Infinite. Similar to previous titles, you take a group of characters, customize their colors and assist moves, and pummel your way through opponents to prove your awesomeness. Or until you reach a boss if it's arcade mode. Part of the fun of the whole crossover experience is to see what the developers will add or who you'll get to play as. And on the year-long trip from announcement to release in 2010 to 2011, I was getting hyped. Dante from the Devil May Cry series and Deadpool were obvious additions, but getting silly ones like the Marvel Killing Machine MODOK and Mike Hager from Final Fight also tickled my nerd bone.
Just roll with it, okay, people?
Going back to the original version of the game was originally released as Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Fate of Two Worlds. After a long period of series MIA after Capcom lost the Marvel license after Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in 2000. But due to fan demand in revisiting Capcom's Versus series and Marvel being very ecstatic to work with Capcom once more on the licensing end, the game was put into production and Capcom celebrated the release of the new game and some ports of other titles. After the game was released, Capcom was working on DLC content for the game, but either due to the 2011 earthquake in Japan or Marvel pressuring the company on when to release the content and how, Capcom decided to repackage the game with the planned DLC and rebrand it as Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, just 5 months after the original game's release, which had some fans irate at Capcom because it was popular to hate Capcom at the time. But not me because I'm a f***ing tool. And in this current gen update in 2017, not much has changed here from the original release of Ultimate, aside from certain DLC from both versions of the game being present on the disc and in completion. This is largely the same game, but updated to run at 60 FPS and at a resolution that's a little bit more crispy. You do also get a digital version of a series art book that was released shortly after Ultimate, which is cool for series diehards like me. I already have it though.
I can see the Marvel vs. Capcom boobies.
Online battles still function like the original game, however, I'm hearing claims that they didn't update any of the infrastructure or the netcode. I do hear that the PC version has better connectivity, but no matter what version you get, just try to use the connection that you have and make it the best it can be. You'll have a decent time at some point. I don't know what to tell you guys, I'm not an internet wizard. Fighting game freaks are the people that will get the most out of this port, but if you missed the game the first time around and wonder how the Marvel Menagerie work in a fighting game, it's worth it. The game does feature a simplified button layout and other content designed with new players in mind, like a mission mode. So I recommend that you download Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 if you have the means to. Now we just sit and wait for the new game. I've heard that they're going to have some MCU characters in here, but personally I'm hoping for the plane from 1941 to make it into the battle. Wouldn't that be something? That, or maybe give us a dumb crossover story. I am really psyched for the new title, no matter what or who they'll add. But in the meantime, I imagine that Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 on PS4, Xbone, and the PC will keep people occupied. I'm MaximumAustin, and until next time, keep being confident, and you enjoy your day. Excelsior.
Open fire! Get ready!